Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the July love reading for the sign of Cancer. Alright, we're going to get right into it with you guys. Cancers. I hope you're doing well, my lovely water signs. Alright, this is going to be your love check-in for July 2019. This is going to be for anyone who's in a relationship or looking to be in a relationship. It all depends on what the cards say. It may resonate with those who are already married or not married. I'm going to pull two cards for you and your person. I'm not taking any flyers. I'm going to get two distinct cards. Alright, just to see what you and your person's energy is going to be like. What the romance angels say for you and your relationship for this month coming up. Show me for Cancer what's going on. Show me. And then we'll go from there. Alright, Cancer. So your two cards are Let Friends Help You. Interesting. And Honeymoon. Alright, so it's a honeymoon phase right now. At the bottom of the deck, you have Stay Optimistic about your love life. So, interesting. Let friends help you. I love that card because it usually means that there are friends or someone in your life who could give you advice or assist you in your decision-making processes about your relationships, perhaps to sound off to get a second opinion, right? I mean, friends are a blessing. And if you have friends in your life that you can talk to about your relationships, that you truly trust, by the way, not just friends who, secretly hate you, you know what I mean? Like frenemies. We're not talking friends. We're talking legitimate friends, people you trust, right? People you've known for a while, right? And it's always a blessing to have that in your life, right? Especially when you want to get a second opinion about something, Cancer. So let's just see what your cards are all about for this lovely July 2019 for Cancers. Show me. I'm going to get affirmations, reaffirmations. Warning signs, energies to stay, to work toward or move away from, right? Let's see what's going on. July 2019 for a lovely Cancer. Show me. A lot of cards coming out. Show me. Sometimes the cards get jumpy when there's a lot of energy. I like to wait until or shuffle until they calm down, right? So I know that the cards coming out are, a focused message. All right, so let's get right into it, Cancer. Your first card out the gate is Seven of Wands. Wow. All right. So a little bit of standing your ground. Five of Wands. All right. We got some strife going on. Arguing. Having to defend yourself. Two of Swords. The World. 21 in Major Arcana. Six of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. There comes your closure. All right. We've got, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. The Devil. And Six of Cups. I very rarely get reversals because I do usually clear my decks between readings, but that means that this card did reverse during that shuffle. At the bottom of the deck, we have Two of Cups. Wow. All right. So it's all about love. It's all about coming together and connecting. But most recently, yeah, it's been quite a struggle, right? You feel like you've been having to stand your ground, Cancer, defend your position. Could be that some of your friends may have been coming at your neck about a particular relationship that you're involved in. You maybe have felt very much like, look, you guys, you keep telling me that she or he isn't this or that, but I love them and leave me alone. That type of scenario, right? It feels very much like that. Seven certainly talks about dreams and goals, right? So Seven of Wands talks about defending your dreams and goals, working for your dreams and goals. Certainly when obstacles coming your way, right? Coming up with creative ways to kind of oppose those obstacles or fight against those obstacles. It's all about passion and creativity, right? So it's not fighting in the sense of sword play because it's not a swords card, right? It's wands. But it's very much you feeling like you're always having to come up with ways to solve issues, come up with solutions, right? It could be very much that that's how you're feeling in your relationship as well. Like you're always the one who has to fix everything. It could be like you're the one who always has to kind of like um, fight for the relationship in a way, right? And you've got also Five of Wands here. So five being power struggles. There's certainly a power struggle here somewhere going on, right? Um, you know, a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth. You know, this could be with people around you and friends around you, right? So it could be also like, you know, very much like you're either having to defend yourself or your relationship against others. And there's just a general sense of turmoil going on around you, right? And so here you are with the Two of Swords trying to figure out where to go forward, right? Two of Swords is very much about trying to find a balance. But, you know, she's trying to make a decision. She can't make a decision. She can't make a forward motion. You know what I mean? The character here seems to be a little bit stuck, right? She's blindfolded. And on the surface, it's like she can't tell between the two swords because they look exactly the same. So this card kind of reminds me sometimes about how, like, you can't make a decision between 2 points of view or two ideas because they're pretty much the same, so you have to go a little bit deeper, right? I mean, the swords on it, you know, she's closed, almost blind, she's blindfolded herself in a way. How do I explain it? It's almost like when you're in the woods. Say you're in the woods and you want to hear something, you close your eyes so that you can hear better, right? This character has her eyes blindfolded because she needs to go deeper so that she can hear herself better, right? So she can hear her inner voice better, so she can look a little deeper into these two options and decide. Right now, she's unable to make any real decision or move forward right now because of the lack of ability to decide which choice is the best. They both seem to be identical, right? So that can cause a lot of frustration, a lot of impatience, certainly if you're trying to move forward, right? This is really the land of indecision, Two of Swords, right? It's very much the land of indecision. Where do I go? What do I do? How do I move forward? Could very much be why you need your friends to help you. The World card, though, is interestingly enough, right? The World card comes about when we are like looking at our path. We're looking at everything that we're getting a bird's eye view, right? And we're looking at everything we've done up until now and kind of taking stock, kind of reevaluating our path, reevaluating what we consider to be goalposts on those paths, right? On that path. Sometimes we reevaluate. Sometimes we change what our objectives are, or our plans, our goals, our targets for our lives. It can be that sometimes, you know, there's a shift, there's a readjusting. Certainly after you've learned some lessons or you've gone through some real trials and tribulations, a lot of times we do like a readjustment, right? We readjust how we see ourselves and how we see our lives, right? And we lay down burdens that we no longer need to have, and we pick up responsibilities that we now want to shoulder. So it's very much a readjustment of everything in your life. Certainly it can be as a result of kind of just going through this very difficult period, Seven of Wands and Five of Wands period. However, Six of Pentacles is at the center of your reading, Cancer. So it's very much about you and money right now, right? You're feeling very generous. You're feeling very much like a benefactor. Could be that someone you're involved with, you know, they require your assistance to maintain themselves to a certain degree. It could be that, you know, you're in a relationship which is kind of making you feel like, you know, you have a little bit of the upper hand financially, let's say, right? And I think this makes you kind of feel good. And I don't say this in a bad way at all, Cancer. I think that it has been making you feel good because Cancers, you're naturally very nurturing, and you're naturally very much the caretaker, right? The ultimate mother is the crab, right? The Cancer mother. You know, so if you have funds, you're very generous. And not only that, the fact that you can help your loved ones makes you feel really good about yourself. Makes you feel like, you know, makes you feel like the man, you know, or the woman, you know. It just makes you feel very good about shouldering your responsibilities, right? And it's a nice place to be. I think you've worked quite hard for this. I think probably up until now, you've had some financial issues that have not necessarily allowed you to be as generous as you'd like to be as magnanimous and all, right? But now you've kind of gotten to this level, right? And you're laying down some hang-ups from before. You're lightening up, right? You're laying down some baggage. You're certainly feeling very, uh, you're feeling like you've turned a corner, right? Now, this could very much be for someone who is in a relationship or someone who's single, right? Because this is much more, this reading, this love reading for the month is much more about how you feel, right? So, for instance, if you're single, you're probably going to be bringing in a lot more opportunities at love because you're laying down some baggage. You're at the end of a really long road. Ten of Wands is like the end of a long kind of battle. It's like the end of a lot of ups and downs as far as realizing dreams and failing, right? You've done a lot of failing and along the way and winning too, but there's, you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. Having to take your lickings too. You know, all things don't come to fruition. And also, it's a long road. Ten of Wands is the end of a long road of bad and negative relationships as well, right? Very much so. Whereas Ten of Swords is more like you changing your own behavior patterns and ideas and, you know what I mean, that you hold on to that don't serve you. Ten of Wands is letting go of, you know, the types of relationships that have been negative, right? The things that we allow into our hearts that have hurt us. And we have carried baggage as a result of that. And so when you get to Ten of Wands, it's very much the laying down of that baggage. There's forgiveness there for yourself and those who've hurt you. You simply can't carry it anymore, right? It's just, it's not worth it to you. You know, there comes a point in time, and that's why people say time truly does heal all things, unless you're just, you know, resigned to hang on to pain. Time does heal because at some point that you just can't hold on to the baggage anymore. It's been long enough. You've been through enough other lessons. You've gotten some kind of rewards and affirmations back to remind you of who you are, and you realize very much that whatever pain you have from the past does not need to dictate your future. You can lay it down, right? And a lot of that could have been very much, yes, bickering. You could have been in relationships most recently that did involve a lot of bickering, that did involve you kind of, and I think this is where your friends coming in to help you card factors in, because I believe your friends probably have been trying to help you, but up until now you've probably been fighting them, right? And I believe these wands here represent a lot of people or friends who have tried to come in, try to help you through some of the bickering and some of the arguing that you've been going through, and you've like very much been like, no, you're wrong, you know, they're not like that. You've been defending yourself and your person, previous person. I want to say an ex, right? Hopefully an ex now that you've laid it down. You're defending the situation even though you know, they could see that you were unhappy. They could see the strife and the fighting and the bickering, right? So now you've come to kind of this decision, right? So you've gone through Two of Swords, but also you've gone through some issues. I think financially you've had some reaffirmations in your life, right? That have proven that these arguments with this particular person were kind of not necessary, right? I feel like it could have been arguments about money, about status, and things like that, right? And then when suddenly things happened in your life, right? Opportunities came in, or the shift happened financially for you, right? You made a shift as well, with the World card, being conscious and in the moment, but also financially there was a shift so that you felt much more harmonious and much more stable in your finances, right? You realize that all of this kind of bickering that you had been going through before with this individual was not worth it. You can now lay down the baggage that you got from this previous relationship because of the kind of making you perhaps feel bad that you weren't at the same level at that time with finances, even though you're doing well now. Perhaps you weren't before, and they were giving you a lot of hang-ups about that. You're able to lay that baggage down and move forward. However, there is still kind of a blockage. Interestingly enough, the Ten of Pentacles has come in reverse, which seems to indicate that even though you know, and forward, right, and straight up, it would have been kind of like a closing off financially, of having the family, having everything, having accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish financially, and getting ready to move on to the next stage. But it being upside down, it just indicates that you haven't, right? So you're ready to lay down the baggage, but you're certainly not at that stage yet to have the happy home, children, relationship, the whole thing kind of cemented, the abundance coming in. That's kind of stalled, right? You're not at that stage yet. In fact, I believe that you're very much just now at the stage of laying down this baggage from these previous kind of negative relationships that you had, and opening yourself up to a different type of relationship, certainly now because your finances have increased. Devil has come in almost as a tempter, right? Temptation. The devil is temptation, but the devil is also extreme creativity. So when the devil comes in, a lot of times the devil does show up when there is an increase in abundance, because you don't want to now become a slave to your lusts, to your passions, to the things that you can buy with money that provide you easy and quick satisfaction. You don't want to become a slave to that. So take care. It could be also that this is upside down, because right now, rather than using your status and wealth to work towards a family, you're very much wanting to be the party animal, not necessarily tie yourself down. You may not, some of your Cancers may not be ready to tie yourself down, because once you may have thought you were, but once you came through and you got this increase in finances, right, you were able to lay down some of this baggage and kind of like shit that you've been carrying around with you, right? Anger, self-esteem issues and stuff. Rather than having it push you towards wanting like this committed relationship, in fact, it's kind of like, stop, hang on. I just want to go like have fun for a minute. I haven't had fun for such a long time. I'm not ready to work towards like marriage and stability and all of that just yet. I want to use some of my money to enjoy myself. And that's perfectly fine, Cancer. Perfectly fine. Just don't go too far. Right? Just don't go too far. Don't let yourself have too much fun. Remember to pull yourself back. Let your friends help you. And this is a honeymoon period for you, right? It's a honeymoon period in as much as you're enjoying yourself finally, right? You're enjoying your own kind of self-esteem finally, right? It's a blissful time. You've gotten away from some of this negativity that was in the past. But yes, let your friends help you not to go too far down that road of, you know, enjoying yourself, you know, partying, drinking, eating, all of the stuff that people like to do once their money increases, because you do have Six of Cups here too, right? So there is a happy relationship at the end on the other side of all of this, and it could be an old flame, right? An old flame that came way before all of this, right? This relationship here. So I want to say, if this relationship that you're kind of healing from, or these past relationships that you're kind of healing from here with the Ten of Wands, if they happened, like, let's say in the last 3 to 5 years, I want to say this relationship is something that maybe happened 10 or more years ago, right? So it's way before the most recent kind of assholes that came into your life, right? And it didn't necessarily end badly. I think it was something that ended on a friendship. If it ever went into a romantic phase, it may not have, but it ended as a friendship. But it's coming right back around as boom, as a friendship again, almost starting off where you guys left off. Very, very beautiful. Could turn into a love relationship. Could. Right? The possibilities are there, because stay optimistic about your love life, right? But most importantly, they come back as a very, very good friend, as they left as a good friend. And it's almost like you see them and you've been through all of this and you see them, it's like, oh. It's like you let out this big kind of relief. It's almost like you didn't realize you were holding your breath for the last 20 years. You know what I mean? And here they've come back in your life and you're just able to let go, because it's like your buddy's back, your friend's back, the one who knows you best, the one who knows you most of all, the one of 5 friends that of 5 lifetime friends that you can count on one hand is back. It's really, really beautiful energy. It feels really, really good. Cancers, I love this kind of like, this can be, and I'm going to tell you, this can be that kind of like love story scenario. You know, that the love story that took 20 years to come into fruition, right? That took both people, you know, trotting around the globe and having other relationships, ups and downs and all kinds of things, right? To finally come back to being here. And they're right back. And then when they come together, it's like, it's literally like they never were apart. You know, there was never a time, a space in between. We're going to get some deeper cards, some clarity cards from the Thoth deck, the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. It's a very beautiful picture, Cancer. I know sometimes my readings, it takes a minute for me to get the whole message, right? I got to kind of like read the cards, go through it, and then I can go back to certain cards because they make more sense. The message is clear. But this is, by all means, this is really beautiful. And I do believe this is for you Cancers who have either just come out of something or you haven't been in anything major or serious for quite some time. You may have been dating, you know, the 6 months to a year relationships here or there, but nothing major for quite some time, or for a while, right? And now you're coming, you know, you're letting go of so much. You've got this enjoyable phase coming through. Show me what's going on for our lovely Cancers this July 2019 love period. Show me. Eight of Swords, Four of Swords, Three of Discs, Princess of Cups, Lust, and Leo at the center. Beautiful. Lovers have come out. Ace of Cups, there it is. High Priestess, and Nine of Wands. At the bottom you have Queen of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Swords is one of those beautiful queens, right? She has cut her mask away. It's been an exhausting battle. It's been an exhausting time for her. But she's done it. She's cut the masks away from her. She's not having to... She no longer feels like she has to be somebody else's person, right? She has to follow somebody else's drum. She now knows who she is. And that is what makes the Queen of Swords have that piercing kind of discernment, because she herself has been through it and she can see right through others. She can see through others' lies and falsehoods. Eight of Swords is coming in to cover that Seven of Wands. Yeah, so there's been interference, right? You feel like there's been interference, right, in the past. Like I say, you know, it's very much you've... In any case, and I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say that in either case, Cancer, you've just been feeling very much alone. Like you're the only one who's been, and I don't mean lonely, but I mean alone in the sense that it's like you're the one who's been fighting for everything your whole life. You're the one who's been always having to defend yourself. You know, when you're with somebody, you're fighting to defend you and your person, right? You know, you always feel like, you know, there is no, you know, you're by yourself fighting. You're by yourself standing up for your hopes and your dreams and your path. And nobody's quite there, right? And I think a lot of this has probably been just because of your nature of who you are, right? Because you love hard, right? You play hard. But also some of it is like interference, Eight of Swords kind of energy. So individuals, you can be having, not necessarily being the wisest picker of friends, right? One of the reasons why this person coming back into your life is such a relief, because it almost seems that since then you've been just lousy at picking friends, right? And so that's caused you to oftentimes find yourself in this scenario, you know, having to almost argue with your own friends, right? And not have the right support. So when I say, when this card, let your friends help you, there are friends and then there are friends, right? And this could very much be this new friend coming in who really truly loves you, has never stopped loving you for who you are. But yeah, your discernment and the people you've surrounded yourself by over the years has not really worked in your favor. And so Four of Swords is truce. You know, you call it truce. It's time out. Let's go back to each other. Let's go back to opposite corners and decide where to go from here. You just had enough arguing and bickering, and it could be that as well. Sometimes, like I said, time, and you just get to a point where you're tired, right? You've had enough. Three of Discs clarifies this inability, land of indecision, right? So when you were kind of like, where do I go from here? What do I do? How do I decide to move forward in my relationships? A lot of it was dictated by work. That choice was taken out of your hands by the need to work on things. Three of this talks about cooperation. Could be a new business, a small business. Could be a new opportunity that you're working on with other people, like-minded people. It's Mars and Capricorn energy, Three of Discs. Mars and Capricorn is moving forward. So whatever indecision you were under, whatever stress or juggling two people, perhaps, two relationships, two decisions, which one do I pick? Like I said, the choice was kind of made for you by work. You just have to buckle down and pay attention to work, because it's, in a way, you're almost like your own worst enemy sometimes, Cancer, when it comes to relationships and dealing with people. Here comes the Princess of Cups out to clarify the world, right? So you feel a whole new sense of love for yourself, like I said, right? Because the world, it's like now you've been through all of this, and you're starting to realize, certainly with Three of Discs coming in, the fact that people want to work with you and desire to be around you to make money and things like that, this was a real self-esteem booster, right? A confidence booster. And so now, as a result of that confidence booster and the little bit extra, I guess I want to say money or status coming in here, right? This new kind of reevaluation of who you are in your life path, you've got Princess of Cups energy coming out again. So that's very much like young love. It's very much like, feeling like you're 16 again. Princess of Cups is fresh. It's like after you go through a full transformation in your life and you're sick of relationships, and then you wake up one day and you realize, hey, it's not me, it's them, and then suddenly you feel better about yourself and more confident. You feel like you have a new kind of lease literally on life now, right? So now you're feeling sexier than you ever did before, and it's like almost takes you back to a youthful kind of love, right? Almost takes you right back to that kind of young love now, so that the next person you meet, it's not that you're weak, you're strong, you're evolved, right? You're very strong, but you're renewed as well. You're the fool again, right? You're remembering that you're the fool again on the Tree of Life, and that can bring a very youthful kind of exuberance to everything, including love, right? And the feeling of wanting love. Passion is in Leo. Strength, yeah, so a lot of strength it took for you, right? Six of Pentacles. Took a lot of strength of you to deal with what you have been dealing with, to concentrate on your finances while you've been dealing with some of these heartaches, right? You consciously worked on yourself. You did conscious, shadow work, digging deep. Lust or strength. In the Thoth deck, this card is called Lust, but it is the strength card ultimately, and it's normally the 8 in the traditional deck, the Leo card. It's just really embodying like the ability to look at yourself and realize what parts of you need to be contained and what parts need to be allowed out and at what times. It's mastering the beast inside you, right? And mastering the passions that go along with that beast inside all of us, so that you can literally like take control of the sun, right? When you master the beast, you have much more control of your life. You have much more self-esteem, much more confidence. You're able to run into very difficult situations or deal with difficult situations with much more ease and confidence. And I think this is kind of like a kind of a transformation that you've been going through. Yes, and as soon as you've laid down that 10 of Wands and let go of all that baggage, the Lovers comes in. Lovers, 6, another 6. You've got a lot of 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. The major arcana 6 is all about moving towards harmony. It's a journey. 6s are about journeys, specifically journeys towards harmony, right? So there are parts to that journey. First, it's the decision to depart from negativity, to leave the land that you're at now or the environment that you're at now, to consciously choose to leave that. That's the first step. The next step is to decide on making a journey, a commitment towards harmony. And then you have the journey itself, right? So you're very much on a journey here, and it's, although it's taken a long time, it is coming in. The answers, the lessons are coming in. You are forever, Cancer, working towards harmony, and that's the positive, right? You're always trying to work further away from negativity and toward harmony. You're not like trying to jump back into these negative relationships. You'd rather be alone. You'd rather be on your own than to jump back into that, right? So like I said, once you lay down your burdens and your hang-ups from the things that you've held on to, some of this negativity, love blossoms. That's the decision to now, 6 major arcana, lovers. Now, this is kind of what I mean. This 10 of Wands is the decision to depart in a way. It's closure and a decision to leave negativity behind. As a result, here begins the journey towards harmony and love. Same thing here. Interesting. Ace of Cups comes in. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. You're like, yeah, hold on a second. I want to enjoy my money for a little while. I don't want to necessarily work towards commitment or anything like that. But guess what? Boom. Ace of Cups comes in anyway. You can't help it. Love is coming in for you, Cancer. Love is coming in for you. A new love is coming in for you. A new opportunity of love is coming in for you. And it's quite funny because it usually comes in. When does it come in, love? When we least expect it or when we least want it. And just as soon as you finally, really, truly, in your heart of hearts said, F it, I'm done. I just want to enjoy myself, enjoy the money I'm making. I don't want anything heavy. You get hit by Cupid's bow anyway. High Priestess comes in to remind you not to hold on to that devil too tight. All right? Not to hold on to those temptations too tight. Make sure you remain in your intuition. Make sure you remain holding on to your gut feelings, your higher self. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater now while you decide down here to kind of enjoy for a little while, right? Enjoy your newfound freedom. Enjoy the new you without the hang-ups, with the added money. Don't forget, the soul, the spirit that you've worked on so much, make sure she rides with you at all times. And ultimately, 9 of Wands comes in over that 6 of Cups. Yeah, this old friend comes in and you guys both look back. You look back on your lives and how difficult they've been, but I think that this person coming in is giving you renewed strength, Cancer. This is Sun in Sagittarius. This is digging deep and finally, and like I said, you are kind of exhausted from a lot that you've been through. You're very happy not to necessarily get into any new relationship, to kind of enjoy yourself, right? But this new friend, this old new friend who's coming back and reminding you who you are is going to cause you to dig deep and get that last bit of enthusiasm, strength, excitement, anticipation going. Just like they used to, and perhaps in the past, they're going to do that for you again. And perhaps you felt like, oh, I'm old now. It's been too long. You know, it could be any age, but, you know, you maybe have felt like, oh, you know, it's been such a long road. I just want to get by. But it's going to be more than just getting by. Coming together with this friend again is going to give you a renewed sense of really wanting to grab your life again by the horns and dive into it rather than just getting by. They're going to help you dig in and get that last well of strength up to accomplish something really great. I believe. I do believe that. And stay optimistic. It could very much be that this friendship turns into a love relationship after many, many, many years of potential and possibility. Could very well turn into that relationship you've always wanted. All right, Cancer, I'm going to call it. This is your July love reading for 2019. It's a beautiful, beautiful show. Yeah, I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget, if you want to get a private reading, follow that link at the bottom of the screen. But for right now, I'm just going to say have a wonderful, wonderful, romantic July 2019. Bye-bye, Cancer.